Welcome back, everybody. Insanity Check here. Ken sans skillet sauce. Again, Skillet is somewhere out there doing the work that, he secretly wants to do. Harassing the large and making sure that they know that he doesn't like them. Speaking of large people, really thin connection here. People are large because they eat. Well, we're going to talk about food here. You've seen on this show that we've discussed GMO products, genetically modified organisms. This is what they're putting in our food these days. In fact, a couple of weeks ago, I went to what was that? I think it was BJ's. A large, like a airplane hangar that got turned into a giant superstore. And I was walking there with a friend of mine, and some lady had these samples. Sometimes they have these little sample tables. So she had potatoes, potato pieces with the toothpicks in them. And she thought that, my friend thought that the sample was for the seasoning that they would put on the potatoes. But no, the sample was actually for the potatoes themselves. And so she went and immediately picked one up and plugged it in there. And I was like, so what's up with the potatoes? And this chick said these were these new potatoes that can be cooked in a microwave in 2 minutes. Yeah, 2 minutes to cook a potato in a microwave. And I'm like, what? And she's like, and as we're having this conversation, I'm looking at my friend, and her face is getting all twisted because apparently she doesn't like what's in her mouth. No joke here. So she had the potatoes in a bag, and I squeezed them, and they were like soft. And apparently they were genetically engineered to be able to be cooked in 2 minutes. And I'm like, no, I'm not eating that shit. That's GMO death. That's horrible. Well, now we have to worry about something outside of GMO. Apparently, these food industries are now using nanotechnology in the food system. Nanos and nanites, if you're a techie or a nerd or a geek, you've heard about this for years. Nano machines is a popular sci-fi character, so to speak. They're like the tiniest. You can't really even see them with the naked eye. You actually need a microscope to see a nano machine. And certainly you have to see them to look at nanoparticles, nanomaterials. So now there's nanomaterials in our food system, and it's just growing. So this article here, the tiniest toxins. What exactly are nanoparticles? Well, nanoparticles are often heralded as having the potential to revolutionize the food industry, from enabling the production of creamy liquids that contain no fat, to enhancing flavors, improving supplement delivery, providing brighter colors, keeping food fresh longer, and indicating when it spoils. It is reported that nanotechnology is already used in food and food-related products, but due to lack of transparency about the issue, concrete information has been difficult to obtain. And once again, it goes on to say that in Europe, if you're just like with GMO, if you're using nanotechnology or nanoparticles in the food, it has to be labeled clearly so that the consumers know what they're buying. But in America, well, we don't need to do that. We just stick any shit in our mouths, and when someone says, oh yeah, that's good shit, yeah, we do it. So you've probably already eaten nanoparticle food. But the few studies that's been done have these results. A Swedish study, influence of nanoparticles on blood-brain barrier permeability and brain edema formation in rats. Always a poor damn rats. Revealed that nanoparticles derived from transition metals, silver, copper, aluminum, silicon, carbon, and metal oxides easily cross the blood-brain barrier and produce lasting damage to the barrier by altering the permeability. According to the study, high-intensity, short-term exposure to the particles initially blocked iron absorption, whereas longer-term exposure caused intestinal cell structure to damage, allowing for compensating upstick in iron and absorption. So basically, even if you didn't quite understand what I just read to you, it's bad. That's the bottom line. It's bad. But again, do we know if we're eating nanoparticles? Of course not. Why would we know that? Because no one fucking puts a foot in these people's asses. One of the major issues with nanoparticles is that when the substance is reduced to nanoform, about a billionth in scale, the substances behave differently. So, according to experts, the issue is that elements of the nanoscale behave differently from the larger size particles in which they are normally encountered. As an example, graphite properties are well known. It holds specific position in toxicology guidelines and is not considered a hazardous or reactive material under any normal circumstances. These particles, however, behave in ways unlike graphite, making their classifications a potentially dangerous one when turned to nanoparticles. So basically, you can have something that's normal, and all of a sudden it's going to react differently. They said it can react differently to body chemicals. Just normal shit, but when they make it a nanoparticle, yeah.
I feel like we better off eating pennies and dimes and quarters in our food. Like,
you know what? At least our body I'd be able to identify that and be like, oh shit, we got to get this out of here.
Right.
With the nanoparticles, it's like, oh yeah, bring that all in, because it may not be able to be able to detect it because of the size of these things.
And of course, the government don't care.
Of course, they're behind this.
Right.
Again, as I mentioned earlier, the European Food Safety Authority requires that foods containing nanoparticles be labeled, but in America, the FDA does not require food manufacturers to report the nanoparticles on the label. Ironically, the FDA also refuses to say that the nanoparticles are safe. At this time, this is a quote, "At this time, we are not aware of any food ingredient or food contact substance intentionally engineered, on the nanometer scale for which there are generally available safety data sufficient to serve as the foundation for a determination that the use of a food ingredient or food contact substances is safe." And this is the funny part. The FDA allows control over the use of the nanomaterial to be in the hands of the food manufacturers. According to the government agency, industry remains responsible for ensuring that the products meet all applicable legal requirements, including safety standards. So basically, what they're saying is that if a company stands to make an extra, $1 billion a year, either through the money saved from using nanotechnology or by just being able to produce more or more expensive foods using nanotechnology, it will forego that because they may not have made it safe enough yet. So, yeah. So what they're saying is that we expect that, a corporation whose sole purpose is to make money is going to not make money because they want to protect us, who are the ones who are going to give them the money that they so desperately desire, just because it may not be safe for us. Yeah, that's your government, and that's your food system.
That's why I'm moving to Canada.
I don't even know if that's far enough. You may have to go someplace where they don't know what, electricity is. Or someplace, I don't know.
I might go to Amsterdam, I don't know.
So, and lastly, one frequently used nanoparticle is titanium dioxide. This is included in the powdered sugar coating on many pastries and lends them a whiter, brighter look. Wondering what foods to strike from your list? Titanium oxide nanoparticles have provided a sparkling white appearance to the following, according to E! So basically, if you've eaten, you might be in trouble. You continue to eat this shit, it's on you. Mentos. I like Mentos. I don't eat them often.
Yeah, me either.
But I like them. I actually prefer them over regular
the red Mentos is the good ones.
Are they?
The red Mentos, yes.
Trident gum. Thank God I don't eat Trident. Dentine gum. Don't eat that either. M&Ms. Now, I don't know if that's, the white M&Ms or maybe they sprinkle it inside the undercoating. I don't know, but it just says M&Ms.
I hope it's the regular M&Ms and not the M&M peanuts, because that's the ones I like.
Yeah, good luck with that. Betty Crocker whipped cream frosting. It's frosting. You should be eating that shit anyway. Jello banana cream pudding. Banana cream pudding. I didn't even know Jello made banana cream pudding. Vanilla milkshake Pop Tarts. When the hell the fucking it could?
Yeah, they've been making those for a while now. They're okay. I don't eat those all the time.
And Nestle Original Coffee Creamer. Don't drink coffee. Yeah, these things are loaded with these titanium dioxide nanoparticles. So again, and I'm sure that's not the end of the list. And if it is, it probably won't be by the end of this year. The list will probably have tripled by then. But don't have to tell you people, man. You ain't gonna see this shit on the news, I can tell you that. But if you've eaten any of these things and, you found that your gums are bleeding, or, your ass is bleeding, or your ears are bleeding, if something's bleeding, take a picture. Send it to Insanity Check, and we'll make sure we make you a star, make you a hero like Charles Ramsey. We will be back in a couple of minutes.